Today we're doing a deep dive into Capreol, Ontario. It's a town with a really remarkable birth story. And it makes you ask, where do the real stories of the community actually live?
That's right. You see, Capreol was quite literally born back in 1911 around something called a railway divisional point.
A divisional point.
Yeah.
Okay, so what exactly does that mean in practical terms?
Essentially, think of it as a critical hub. It's where train crews would change over, engines got serviced, freight was sorted. It wasn't just a place on a map. It was the town's absolute lifeblood.
Lifeblood. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, imagine your daily schedule dictated by train whistles, job security tied directly to how much rail traffic there was. Even, social events often centered around trains coming and going. It really got into every part of life.
So our mission today is to kind of explore how this railway focus really shaped generations there.
Exactly, especially for families like the McKees and the Dubois. Their roots go way back, like to the 1920s, maybe even earlier. We want to blend that documented history with the more personal, intergenerational stories. That's what really brings a place alive for you, the listener.
And it sounds like things happen fast there. There was this entrepreneur, Frank Denny, who made a key land deal in 1912, got the land for the station, the shops, a huge yard, basically locked in the town's economy.
He did, and the growth was, pretty explosive.
Yeah, the numbers are kind of staggering, like 30 families by 1916, then 60 houses built just 3 years later by 1919. That's doubling in size so quickly.
It is, and think about the challenges, but also the opportunities that kind of boom creates for a brand new town.
Right. It must have forged a pretty unique culture.
Oh, absolutely. This really dynamic setting fostered a distinct railroad town culture. It shaped everything, Daily routines, social circles, people's lives really moved to the rhythm of the trains.
And they were tough, resilient. I was reading about the YMCA, built around 1920, 1921. It actually burned down during construction. A $40,000 fire, which was a fortune then.
A huge sum. But they didn't just pack it in.
No. They rebuilt it, apparently at double the cost, and opened it just months later in 1921. That's more than just stubbornness, isn't it?
It really is. It shows this profound belief in Capreol's future, a powerful collective spirit. It's not just a date in a history book. It tells you something deep about the town's early character. You see that grit in places built from the ground up.
Speaking of building things up, let's talk families. The Dubois family, they're one of those foundational groups, right? Back to the early 20th century.
Deep roots, absolutely.
We've got figures like Daniel Dubois, born 1910, his sister Gracia, born 1914. And get this, they both married into the Legendre family on the exact same day in 1930.
A double wedding. Imagine that in a small, tight-knit town.
And they stayed in Capreol their whole lives. Their kids, like Norman Dubois and Jean McKee, who was born in Dubois, they carry on that legacy today.
See, that's crucial. The Dubois family wasn't just living in Capreol. They became part of its very fabric. Through all that intermarriage, long residency, they were central.
So more than just names on a list, they were the connectors.
Precisely. The go-to people, maybe, the ones who knew everyone, kept the informal history. Their story is really a small picture of how Capreol itself grew through those family ties, those deep connections.
And that brings us to the McKee family. Their main link to Capreol, it seems, is also through marriage. Jean McKee, née Dubois, and her late husband, Ted McKee.
Right. It reinforces that idea how new communities often expand and strengthen through these interconnected family networks, those invisible threads holding it all together.
But here's where it gets really fascinating and, a bit of a puzzle for me. We have all this documented history, the names, the dates, but we're missing some of those really vibrant personal anecdotes in the formal records.
What kind of things?
Well, you hear snippets like, oh, Tom Ling is a Dubois, or Daryl goes to see Tom every Sunday. It's been like a tradition for years, or even just Auntie Mama Tammy. She's such a great cook. Those kinds of things.
Ah, okay, yes.
They don't usually make it into the official town history, do they?
Yeah.
But that feels like the real texture of the place.
You've absolutely nailed it. Formal archives, they're fantastic for, timelines, lineage, property records. But they often miss the intimate stuff.
The personal stories, the little traditions.
Exactly. The sensory details, like someone being a good cook. That's the color, the texture that makes history feel alive and, frankly, more compelling. It's the living history.
So this deep dive really shows Capreol as this rich tapestry, right? Woven from its railway start, yes, but also from these incredibly resilient, connected families like the McKees and Dubois. It's the mix of the official record and those cherished but often unwritten traditions.
That's the heart of it. And it highlights something important. True community history isn't just locked away in archives. So much of it lives in these invaluable living archives, family memories, stories passed down.
We need to capture those.
We do. Capturing those personal narratives is what keeps these vibrant stories from fading. It turns just looking at history into an active project of community memory.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. It leaves you wondering what vibrant, unspoken histories are waiting to be uncovered right there in your own community. What stories haven't made it into the official books yet?